athletes. I'm like, listen, guys, there are key ingredients to an athlete. You can't makeshift it. You can't sit there and say, okay, because I was born this way, I'm do this. Mm-hmm. We've seen what hard work can do to talent, right? It can wipe it off the face of the earth. We know this. We see kids. I mean, you're from New York. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot of ball players who just, you sit back and you're like, man, this don't make no sense. Yeah. Why is he not in the league? Why is he not in the association? Yeah. But why? Because he just has potential, but he has no hard work. Nope. Drive, no discipline. That's right. So that's what I'm all about. But the thing about it is, it's like when I'm in front of these children, and I'm in front of, kids from all ethnic backgrounds, right? All religious backgrounds. So we're talking about, Muslim children, Christian children, Catholic children, mm-hmm. Hindi children, mm-hmm. all types of different, cultures. So what I believe in and my faith, and I stand strong on all 5 of the pillars. Mm-hmm. I'm Muslim, right? And that's they know that. That's right. So when they see me, they know that they're going to get a certain type of behavior. Mm-hmm. I'm not like another coach who's going to get, act high rate and maybe, spew a few curse words. I'm going to carry myself a certain way because I'm not just representing myself. I represent what I believe in. So I tell these children, hey, listen, it takes an athlete to play a sport, but it takes discipline. Yeah. And discipline is it's some more of like a religious type of approach, right? If that makes sense. Yeah. You gotta, don't let other people hold you accountable. You hold yourself accountable, but it's more of an internal accountability. Yeah. And so what I did was a spin off of dynamic speed. I developed Best Conduct Sports. So people were asking me all the time, like, Coach Davis, when you send these videos, sometimes, or when you post on your status, because that's like the only form of social media I have. I'm really big in the social media thing. One, it's a lot of managing. I'm more old school, traditional. I shoot you an email, you shoot me an email. I build a website. On my WhatsApp status, people don't believe it, but I get like almost a lot of views on my WhatsApp status, almost north of 300. If it's if everybody just chimes in and looks. Anyway, so I get responses all the time. But anyway, people say, Coach Davis, what is this Best Conduct Sports? Mm-hmm. Are you not dynamic speed? So I say, yes, most definitely. Dynamic speed, that's what I am, that's what I represent. I said, but Best Conduct Sports is what I'm about. Okay. Mm-hmm. So conduct is everything. We see these kids who have the ability to go places, but then what stops them? They go steal something from, out of the store. Yeah. They get into a fight, injure somebody in a really bad way. Whatever it may be, caught smoking. And then all of a sudden it leads to them not being successful. Mm-hmm. So that's where Best Conduct Sports come from. So right now my main focus is train an athlete, work with the youth, and derive great benefit from it for myself. Like the money, and the money, how money is, some months it's like, man, I'm about to go buy that Lex. Yeah. I'm about to buy that Range Rover. I'm about to go buy that Mercedes. And then some months you're like, you know what? We want, top ramen, right? That's right. So that's just business, all the ups and downs, you accept it all, because it's a part of the journey. But yeah, as far as satisfaction, 100% satisfaction.
That's excellent, man. That's excellent. What right now, give us some examples of some of the things that you've done that benefit the community and benefit the youth. Like, say, give us a uplifting story that somebody told you after being trained. Like, I was feeling this way. Maybe they was feeling down. Maybe they had low self-esteem. Low self-esteem can come from the fact that you're not in shape as much, that you can develop low self-esteem from that. So, what you're dealing with the youth, what's the satisfying story that we can share, we can hear that gave you that satisfaction? Exactly.
Man, there's so many, right? So you could imagine, 18, 19 years of training athletes, mm-hmm. How many kids I've come across, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot, and very grateful mm-hmm. to be in this position. So I would say a story that sticks out to me, had a young kid. Mm-hmm. He wanted to play football, right? Mm-hmm. He was a heavyset kid.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad was a little afraid. He was hesitant to get the boy, to get his son to play football, even though someone to play football, because his son's quiet, very, very shy individual. And so, long story short, the dad gets in contact with me through a parent of a kid that I train already.
Okay.
Dad calls me up and says, listen, my son wants to play football. But he is very, very hesitant because we're both hesitant, right? But I'm more hesitant than he is because he's not a very, very vocal dude. I don't want guys to make fun of him because he's fat or if he's slow or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So he said, we haven't made a decision, but a friend of mine said, you train his children. He said, you're a really good trainer and you could help. So I said, okay, most definitely. Of course, So we met out at the he was in middle school at the time. Young boy was in middle school at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, yeah, let's go. So met the young boy out there. He was most definitely, he was big, but he wasn't like, big to play
Sloppy
sport.
big. Sloppy big.
He was real sloppy.
Okay.
He wasn't like he's big. We can make this guy, a good, offensive tackle, defensive tackle, whatever.
Yeah.
He was just sloppy. So anyway, we basically trained. We trained really, really hard. And he did not play his freshman year, right? So we trained probably for about a year. Dad kept bringing to me. His dad was like, honestly, they totally forgot. Maybe 4 months into the training, the dad totally forgot about football. He just saw a different child, a different son walking around the house. His demeanor was different, And the reason why is because when I'm training the athletes, I'm not training them just to train them and say, you know what, boom, it's a quick paycheck. You're gone. I'm going. I'll see you next time to get my money. It's not like that. It's a serious connection with the adolescent, serious connection with the youth. So when I'm talking to him, I'm pouring everything into him. Like I'm going to give you that confidence, because the reality is bullying and shaming and things of that nature, it exists. So I'm pointing to this kid and I see the young man, he was like 13 years old. I see the young man and I can see why his dad was hesitant to put him in that arena. I can see why he was probably hesitant to go into that arena and play football. I can see somebody saying, oh, you're this, you're that, you're bored, whatever. So I'm telling him, I say, listen, man, just a few words of encouragement. Nobody can tell you what the future holds. Nobody can tell you that you're not going to be successful because your future is undetermined because you haven't lived it yet. Mm-hmm. So we don't know where you're going to end up. You may end up in the Hall of Fame. You may end up the CEO of a huge corporation. So, you may end up being, 4% body fat, 6'4", 6'5", just chiseled. We don't know. That's right. So we just training. So a year goes by. He's going into his sophomore year. So a year goes by. So anyway, he's going, pretty much ended his freshman year. Didn't play his freshman year. Anyway, so listen, the kid takes the field for Northwestern High School. So we have a high school out here in South Carolina called Northwestern High School, the Trojan. He takes the field for these guys. He plays his sophomore year. Doesn't start, but he plays. He plays his junior year, plays, and he finally starts his senior year. And at this time, I'm not training him anymore. Once he made the football team as a sophomore, that was it. So I probably went to one of his games to watch him play. He played a little bit. That was it. And then we fell out of touch. No longer talking to the parent. I had, once again, it's a revolving door. I had athletes come in, athletes go out. Constantly seen athletes. Hadn't seen the young man in probably, I don't know how long. Anyway, so he ends up getting a scholarship to Purdue University.
Wow.
Right? He goes to Purdue and but before he gets the scholarship, he's on the phone. His dad calls me. She used to text message first. Hey, Coach Davis, just want to let you know my son did this thing. He's off to college. He's going to get a scholarship, to play for Purdue University for the Boilermakers. I'm like, really? Wow. So anyway, so the son wanted to talk to me. So I'm on the phone talking to his son, and we're talking, and all of a sudden his son kind of he's not talking anymore. He's not responding. So I'm like, what's going on? I want to, say, well, his name is Jason. I don't want to say his last name, but anyway, Jason's on the phone. We call him Jay. Hey, Jay, what's up, man? He's quiet. And then I can hear some sobbing.
Wow.
On the phone, I'm like, Jay, you good? You all right, man? He was like, nah, man, you don't know, coach. He got a deep voice, and a big boy. Like, nah, you don't know, coach. This joint's serious, man. Like what you said to me when I was little, I'll never forget those words. He said, he's the only people that say kind things to me, kinder than that, my mom, my dad. And so he said, so I'm going to be honest with you, man. It's my mom, my dad, then you. Now think about this. When he told me that joint, it's my mom, my dad, and then you.
Wow.
Not based off relation, like blood, but because of kindness of words.
Yeah, yeah.
He put me high. He's had coaches, obviously. I mean, listen, his head coach a lot helped him get the scholarship. Mm-hmm. He didn't say his coach. He didn't say his best friend. Now, he could have been just playing to the crowd and make me feel good. Yeah. That's always the situation. But I do believe these words stick with people. So I have a lot of stories, but that one right there hit me hard because he's like, listen, man, like what you said to me years ago, it made a huge difference. And that's, so that story resonates with me the most.
That's good. That's good. See, those are the type of stories that we want to hear when you share, what you do and how you do it, and the fact that you have satisfaction on the satisfaction that you have from training these young kids and training the youth. We can let me ask you, I wanted to ask you another question, kind of off topic, because I wanted to ask you not just get into the exercise part about it, but the eating part about it too.
Yes.
Do you get into that with the youth too, or when you training as well? Do you talk about changing their diets too as well, and eating properly and eating the proper foods? Is that also on your regimen as well?
Yeah, 100%. So we all know, we all hear this phrase or statement being passed around throughout the centuries. I feel like it's been around forever. But eating is 85% of your results. Eating, yeah. 85%. Yeah. Some people can say it's a little more, a little less, but it's basically up there around the 80 percentile area. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Listen, as far as, so for athletes, it's different. Athletes eat for energy. Mm-hmm. That's something that's really, really big. So because body fat's huge in the world of sports. So most of our kids, if you're coming from, a impoverished background where they don't have a lot from an economic standpoint, they're pretty much eating whatever they get their hands on. They don't really have the option to select. It's like whatever I get my hands on, I got to take it because I don't know when my next meal is coming. So we get a lot of individuals like that. So there's programs out there to help young boys and girls eat healthy foods so they can perform. I always tell the children, listen, you athletes, you guys are Corvettes. You guys are Mustangs and, whatever other sports car you can think of. Yeah. You can't put unleaded gas. You can't put 87 grade in you.
That's right.
You're going to go pop down the freeway.
That's a good analogy.
You see what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought, listen, guys, you guys have got to put the premium, the real stuff, because you're a performance car. Mm-hmm. General population, the four cylinders, the Civics, the Hondas, the ones that's just A to B, they can eat those foods because they're not asking a lot of their body. Mm. Not that it's healthy for anybody, but I'm just saying you can't, put these different types of foods in your body that are going to break you down in a negative way. And all of a sudden you try to go out there and go, play a full soccer match, or you're in double OT in a basketball game and you're their main star and they're looking at you like, yo, you got us here to overtime. You dropped 35 right now. We need you to drop another 4 or 5 buckets so we can bring this thing home. And you can't do it because you're cramping up, because you're not taking care of your body, because you're eating whatever you want to eat, not realizing that the damage is being done, but you don't feel it until you get into double OT.
That's right.
So stuff like that. So we'll definitely jump into nutrition. Now, I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian, so I don't prescribe. But once again, you can imagine being in this field for as long as I've been in, I have a lot of relationships with people who pretty much are in that department. So we get the information, the vital information to our athletes that we need to get to them. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, we all network, all of us trainers, doctors, we all network. I mean, even it's a whole networking system, that we use to help, individuals.
All right. Well, 5 minutes, close us out. Tell us, give us some advice for somebody that may be like, if you was motivating somebody to, pick themselves up, what would you, give them some advice to motivate them?
Yeah. So I would say the first thing is to lose 50 pounds, to lose